Hi, welcome to this week's Tidbit. My name is Kathy. Estelle will be joining us as well. This week we're talking about authentic praise. So let's get started. A child needs encouragement like a plant needs water. In other words, encouragement is essential. A child may not die without encouragement, but they certainly won't thrive. Since encouragement is so essential, it would be good to know what encouragement means and how to do it. It's authentic, it's individualized, it's very intentional. So authentic praise, which is encouragement, is something that's very intentional. So when you start kind of looking at this, you may be you may not know where to start. You may not realize maybe you were just doing general praise of good job, good job, good job. And one place to start is to think about these questions. Am I inspiring self-evaluation or dependence on the evaluation of others in the kids? So are you having them, are the kids in your class looking for approval from you and what they're doing? Are they coming up to you and saying, teacher, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? Or are they able to kind of autonomously figure out if they like it without your judgment in it? Another question is, am I being respectful or patronizing? So are you authentically talking to your kids, basically? Are you authentically, you are real with them, you are talking with them and appreciating them as fully capable students or children, fully capable humans? Am I seeing the child's point of view or my own view? So are you able to picture what it might be like for those kids in your class and where they may feel supported and where do they feel supported? Or are you just looking at it through an adult lens? And lastly, would I make this comment to a friend? So I think of like if I was in a group of people and they kept saying, good job, good job, good job, well, that would be fine. I would want to know why I'm doing a good job. Like, what is it? Or if I notice that they're also saying good job to somebody else, what makes their job, I'd want to know why. I'd want to know the details. So again, general praise, authentic praise. General praise is broad. Authentic praise is more specific, more individual. Authentic praise is encouragement. And develop into people they want to be, to feel capable, to be resilient, to enjoy life, to be happy, contributing members of society, and to feel free to make mistakes and to learn from them. To provide them with, as a teacher, to provide them with a safe environment to do that in, and a safe climate. Some of the things to consider doing is having conversations with children where children learn to give and receive compliments and learn to brainstorm for solutions to problems. This can easily be done at circle time or at group time or at lunchtime, really, or mealtime, where you have conversations about, what the day was like. And you can point out things that kids did, noticing, giving them attention to what they did, and doing that on a regular basis is good. And then as you're doing it, kids will learn that as well. They'll learn that you can scaffold it, and they will learn how to do that as well. And then also to brainstorm for solutions to problems. So many times, if something happened in the morning, something happened, two kids wanted to play with a toy, that you bring it to circle time and you talk about it, and you say, you kind of let the kids decide what could have happened, what's a possible solution. That's one idea. Or even something's coming up and you're having a field trip, what should we bring for that? What do you think we should do? It wouldn't have to be necessarily problems, but it could be anything in the classroom, giving them a voice in it. Number 2, curiosity questions Curiosity questions to invite children how to think instead. Let me start that again. Curious questions to invite children how to think instead of what to think, and to give them a sense of choice to use their personal power for social responsibility. So you want to, what you're doing there is you're using those words of, I wonder and I'm curious, and you may know the answer, but you want to get them to give you the answer. I wonder how many plates we need for the table today, or I wonder, building in a block area, I wonder how many blocks, how you can make that block stand up. I'm curious what happened I'm curious if there's another way to do that. Kind of giving the autonomy, giving them the agency to make decisions. Letting go so children have opportunities to learn and grow, mistakes and all. So when you're in preschool, and actually later on in life too, but in preschool especially, it is a time that you're learning. The whole time is learning. And so they're going to make mistakes, and that's okay, and they need to have a safe environment for that. And when you are, I always said in my classroom that we had a sense of forgiveness. Like every day is a new day, we start again. It just happens. You're part of this community, class community, and you will always be part of this class community. What can we do differently? Number 4, having faith in children so they can develop faith in themselves. And that's encouragement right there. You encourage kids, you support them, you give them thoughtful and intentional scaffolding to help them find solutions. And, some words around that are you can do it, I know you can do it, you're a smart kid, just giving them specific things like, I saw you're very creative, I know you can do this. And not necessarily giving them the answers, but having them discover the answers themselves. Number 5, spending special time to make sure the message of love gets through. So this one's really important as well, to give a sense of safety. And that is basically to spend time with kids. It doesn't, and we spend so much time teaching or having, making sure we get the lunch on the table, getting kids to transition and all that stuff, but to spend time each day, each time with kids, a special time, and giving them encouragement, sitting with them, noticing what they're doing. And that gives them the message that you care. So whether it's a message of love, meaning, saying it, or actually showing it by sitting with them and noticing them and being connected to them, next to them. How can praise be negative? Childcare providers may praise children's artwork to help increase their self-esteem. Unfortunately, children sometimes misinterpret teachers' praise. Here are some common misunderstandings. Children may expect praise every time they create something. Children may stop forming their own opinions of their artwork and depend instead on teachers' feedback. Children whose work is not praised may think they don't like their art, may think you don't like their art, and decide that they are not good artists. Children may stop being creative and stop creating what they think you will like. Here's a simple example. Guess what happened when a teacher said, "Oh, look how pretty Karen's picture of the house turned out." Not surprisingly, many other children tried to copy Karen's idea and style to win the teacher's praise instead of using their own creativity. You see this a lot with when if you've ever had a child come up to you or in a classroom and say, "Do you like my picture? Do you like my picture?" And they're looking for praise, they're looking for approval, they're looking for you to say, "Oh, that's pretty." And it sort of can be a clue of maybe they have been around people who have been praising them. Good job, good job, good job. And they are getting, they think that's the only way that they're going to get approval. But you want that approval to be internal, an internal thing. So some of the things that I've done when a child said, "Oh, do you like it?" I turn it around and I say, "What do you think? What do you think about your picture? And tell me about your picture, and let's talk about your picture." And then from there, I may be noticing like, "Oh, you use the blue pen, or you use the red," and things like that. So you're noticing things. So you should feel good about that, or things like that. Another clue sometimes is when a child comes up and says, "I can't do it. I can't cut the paper," or "I can't make me a heart. I don't know how to make a heart. I don't know how to make the circle." And that's another clue that might mean that they've seen somebody else get praised, and they know that they can't, and they didn't get praised, so they're thinking, "I can't do it. How, I can't do it as good as, Ellen can do it." So that's another clue that happens often too. So part of that is praise is a little bit more about this, is praise effort instead of product. So this can be, they talk about art, but it can also be Play-Doh. It can be any kind of formal product that they're doing, like they're making an art piece, or they're creating something. The best way to give children feedback is to praise effort instead of product. Help children recognize how hard they work and encourage them to be proud of their accomplishments. You might say something like, "Karen, you are working so hard and long to get that just the way you want it. Josie, when you mix red and blue together, you create a new color. Tia, you glued those leaves on so carefully. Look at that special design. Roberto, when you roll that Play-Doh like that, it becomes really long. Angela, you have some great ideas for that puppet. I know you are going to enjoy using it with your friends." So all of those are really just noticing the effort, providing the child encouragement, giving them attention to what they did, and those words give children internal self-worth. They're not out trying to please you. They're building their self-worth and their confidence. Changing how you talk with children about your artwork takes thought and practice. But teachers who intentionally praise children's effort and involvement rather than the product of their artwork are helping support and encourage the children's creativity, learning skills, and sense of self-worth. So I want to thank you. Estelle's going to pop in right now and do her piece. So, bye.
8 alternatives to saying good job. 1. Don't assume that you know the subject. Ask the child, "Can you tell me about your painting?" Children love to talk about their work, and this is the perfect time to take advantage of this tendency. 2. Notice the details. Talk about the shading, lines, colors, and forms that you see in their work. Invite children to discuss the thinking process behind the artwork. 3. Give feedback about effort. When you see your child concentrating and adding details to a sketch, praise what you notice. 4. Use phrases like "I noticed" or "I see that you." Say something that begins a conversation about the artwork. 5. Don't judge the work. While a child may ask, "Do you like it?" respond with a specific detail that appeals to you. These are the kinds of comments that will encourage further discussion. 6. Celebrate and display work. Celebrations encourage further work and lead to a sense of success. 7. Encourage next steps. Stretch their thinking and see where they can go next. 8. When you're not sure what to say, give nonverbal feedback. A smile, a pat on the back, a wink, or a high five can communicate to your child that you see and acknowledge them and their work. And that's all they're really asking for. Affirmation activities. On the left, we have alphabet affirmation cards. They teach the children self-love and positive language to use with their peers. These can also be placed throughout the classroom to be used as conversation starters. On the right, we have child books on being yourself. Discovering who you are and accepting yourself is one of the greatest things that you can do to be happy and successful in life. Understanding this needs to start as early as possible. If you're looking to help your children with accepting and being themselves, these books are a great place to start. Both links will be below in the info box.